Hey everyone, welcome back to Trowel and Error Gardening. We thought we would sit and do kind of a little introduction video on a little bit about who we are, just in case anybody's interested in kind of our background and things on that. So if you are new here, this is my husband Matt, I am Amy, and we have been married since 2004. We have two kids. We have an 18-year-old named Ryan, and we have a 16-year-old named Alyssa. I blanked for a minute. I thought she was 15 still. But anyway, we live in West Central Missouri in Zone 6A for gardening. We're originally from the St. Louis area anyway, so Missouri is pretty much home for us, but we are here in West Central Missouri due to the military. We got stationed here back in 2015 out at Whiteman Air Force Base, and I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit.
This is this is our third duty station. I started off in Abilene, Texas for the first 6 years. I was lucky enough to get stationed at Scott Air Force Base for 6.5, 7 years. Then I kind of got non-volunteered out here to Whiteman Air Force Base, but it's not the worst place. And honestly, being from we say we're from the St. Louis area, but I grew up in a very small area south of St. Louis. So honestly, this area, Warrensburg, Missouri, kind of feels a little bit like home. So being a smaller town, definitely small town vibes here. In what would be considered rural Missouri. So not the worst assignment at all. I've just recently retired, so my time in the military is done, but we are be getting another job here soon, but we're trying to focus a lot right now on our gardening, fixing our house up on the outside as much as we can with nice color and everything to give some curb appeal. So that's where we're at right now.
We actually lived at on base housing, and so there was a lot of restrictions that come with that. It's the nature of the beast, and so there was limitations on what type of whether you could grow vegetables or food and what you could plant and those kinds of things. So it really took us a long time to maybe get into gardening compared to where we might have earlier, just because we had that limitation on us. And of course, having younger children at the time and stuff, my focus was really inside and with the kids. I wasn't really focused on taking care of plants and everything. But like most people in 2020, we had more time on our hands, and so we started to get a little more into gardening, and we had this deck area that we're on right now, and so back in 2020, like a lot of people, we had a lot more time on our hands, and so we decided to, we got a little more into gardening. Actually, I think I just had a couple little pots that I wanted to take care of, and I started, researching and looking more into how to properly care for them. Before, it was just like we were lucky if we watered them, and we would usually water them too much. And so in 2020, just started watching a lot of videos and reading a lot of different things, and just really getting into the nurturing of those plants, which was something that we needed at that time. We needed to see kind of that beauty in those flowers and things. So the next year we decided we wanted to get a little more involved, and we made a new garden, and we went to a university sale to get some plants and kind of just started trying different things. And so we've pretty much been going since then. We've just continued to kind of advance and find new ideas. One big game changer for us was getting drip irrigation. We'll do a video for that sometime in the future, but I don't really like to be outside watering plants for an hour every day after I get home from work. So the drip irrigation that really changed a lot and allowed us to garden in a much different way, and we enjoyed it a lot more because we could spend time enjoying the flowers, or even just caring for them, pruning them, those kinds of things, rather than just sitting and having to water them. to keep them alive. We're in the Midwest, but it still gets really freaking hot here for some reason. I don't know why it's so humid. We don't have like an ocean or anything amazing like that. It's gross.
Yes, we've over the last few years we've increased the amount of flower bed space that we use. We've tried to free up some of the kind of bland space. We've got a great yard. We have almost a third of an acre of a lot, and with the house sitting on it, we have a smaller ranch sitting on it. It really gives us a lot of yard space, but yard space is great. But if it's just nothing but grass with no features to it, it's enjoyable, but not as enjoyable as it could be. So we've since added a few flower beds to try to spruce it up a little bit for us. We have one on the south side of our house that wasn't there, and eventually we will get a video up with a good tour of our flower beds. We have one now. We have two in the backyard now. So we're definitely increasing that. And with that, our back porch, which is where we're sitting right now, used to be just full of nothing but annuals. We would just load up pots with as many annuals as we could find, and we would enjoy color for the year. But this year we decided that we were going to take a different route, and we were going to focus a little more on the perennials, which is why these flower beds were built. Instead of building up flower beds just to keep sticking annuals in them, as pretty as annuals are, we opted for something a little different. We wanted to have a little more recurring color. So we focused on getting things like hibiscus and coneflowers and butterfly bushes and one of my favorites in the hydrangeas. Thank you. I was thinking of their names, the little limes.
Yeah. One of the things about gardening that I think we really started to find in the last few years is that it brought us joy when we needed it the most. We've had a rough couple years with some health issues in our family, and so it was tough sometimes to get back out into the garden, just dealing with what we were dealing with. But it also gave us something to look forward to, and so in the fall, planting bulbs, helped to get us through winter, and when you needed it the most, those plants would start blooming, and you'd have tulips and crocus and whatever kind of coming up whenever you need it the most. So we do get a full 4 seasons here in Missouri, and so our summers are hot, our winters get cold, we get snow, those kinds of things. And so that was another reason why, annuals, we would have a big, beautiful display during the summer. And then because we didn't have as many perennials at the time, during the winter and when things aren't growing up in the spring, everything just looked kind of dead and dull. And so we're hoping that we're kind of correcting some of that and getting some more winter interest and some prettier things to look at too. We can show also kind of our transformation of our front flower bed. That's been a big change from the beginning. We have a beautiful Japanese maple that usually does pretty well there. And initially when we moved here, there was rocks there. And things were okay for where we were at with our gardening desires at the time. But the more we gardened, the more we really realized that the rock was not a good fit up there. It burned up almost everything that we put in there. It was just way too hot because it is west facing at the front of our house. And so some people can successfully garden with rock in their beds. It was just not a good match for us, and so we had a big project. Matt worked pretty hard getting all that rock out of there, and we switched it over and kind of amended the soil because we have very, very thick, heavy clay soil here, and so we tried to add some amendments to it. And then we mulched everything. And so since then, I think that was 2019?
Yeah.
Or 2020 maybe? We did that, and it's allowed us to be more flexible in that front garden. And so we've put things in and taken them out as we've found that they're not happy there or if they need to move. And so we've changed things around a couple times, trying to find something good that we liked there that was providing us color or, you know, structure throughout the colder months and things. And so now I think we're in a better spot up there. We've got some ligustrums, we've got some hostas that are under the Japanese maple. And it's all still kind of growing up. I think it's only maybe on its second year there. And then we have some annuals in the front. And it allows us to, with the annuals in the front, we can put bulbs there for spring plants and things. And so we can plant that in the fall and have some interest in the spring too.
So that's a little bit about us. If you guys feel like, this sounds familiar, if you're kind of dealing with a small space and you're trying to figure it out and all that, just know, we started very late in our lives trying to get this together, and we
didn't know much.
And we didn't know much, and with the help of the internet and YouTube and everything else,
and our moms,
and our mothers, who are both of our mothers are green thumbs. So anything is possible, and even a small space, even a space that you're looking at and you're like, I just don't think we've got this, the yard for this or whatever. Give it an extra thought, because we thought the same thing when we moved here, and now we have 3 of the 4 sides of this house surrounded by flower beds, and the only reason the other side's not is because it's just a big hill, and there's nothing I can do about it.
And nobody goes over there anyway.
And we have a wood line that is encroaching on our property over there anyway. So don't give up on the idea that a beautiful garden is in your future. It absolutely is, and anybody can grow anything. It's just a matter of figuring out what it is that you like, and then once you find what you like, figuring out what it needs and getting it in the ground. Just plant, and we have the name Trowel and Error for a reason, because a lot of our gardening over the last 3 or 4 years has been trial and error. It has legitimately just been us trying to figure things out. We try something, it doesn't work, now we know. We try something, it doesn't work, we look it up, find out why, and next year we do it right. We figure it out. That's what a lot of our gardening has been, and that's why we're trying to bring this out to you all, is to say, look, we don't know everything. We're not gonna have all of the answers, but through some trial and error, we are able to figure it out for a lot of the stuff that we've got. We even have some new stuff this year that we don't know is gonna work, but we're gonna try it. If y'all have any of your own stories, please put them down in the comments. We like to read that stuff.
Yeah.
We like to know what everyone else is going through, what they're dealing with, how they got started, what the change was from when they started to now, all of those things. We want to know that. Put them in the comments. If you like the video, please like the video. If you like us and you think, hey, they're going to put out some good content, by all means subscribe. We are going to be putting out more videos. We've got some on tap. We just have to get them out there. So support us, and we will support you. That's a big thing. So we will try to keep up on everything and make sure that you guys have what you need. And we will appreciate the support that we get.
Let us know where you're commenting from, what zone you're in. That was another big thing for us, is a lot of the information we found out there was really for areas that were not geared towards the Midwest. And so our weather or our just conditions here, we didn't find a lot of resources that were ready for us here. And so that's what we kind of hope to be to other people out there, and of course across the country or wherever you're gardening from. But we wanted to especially kind of put Zone 6A on the map, I guess, so to say, in West Central Missouri, and try to have some information out there, and just kind of capture our adventures and share with you guys and learn from you. Because I think one thing I've learned about the gardening community is there's many ways to do things, and there's lots of people who are happy to share their knowledge and their wisdom with you. And you know, once you are at a point where you want to accept that knowledge and wisdom, you know, you can kind of just hit the ground running. And so we're excited to continue learning from you guys. So if you found this helpful at all, please like and subscribe. It helps other gardeners like you find this kind of information, so that it pops up in the YouTube algorithm for them. And we will see you in the next one.